And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2 of The Energy That Surrounds Us. Now, before I introduce our guest, a little bit of housekeeping. You'll notice we had a new intro. That is courtesy of my cousin, Tyler Estes. And I just put up his website. So if you are in need of an intro or an outro or an ad, he can totally hook you up. He does incredible work. And now, with that being said, not so bad with housekeeping, I am going to hand it over to our awesome guests, the Ghost Hunting Housewives.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Season 2.
Nice to be here.
I know. We are number 1 in Season 2.
Yes, you are.
Number one.
Yeah, it has been a great year we had last year, and we're excited to start the year off rolling, going.
Got a lot of new things coming up in 2024.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear about it. And in full transparency, like how Crystal's laughing about being number 1 is what we were talking about, coming on the show. And I said, well, I know there's January 2nd available, and it's right after the holiday. She goes, we'll take it.
We'll be number 1. We're cool with that.
We're number 1. No shame in our game.
No, not at all. None whatsoever. We like trophies too. Just gonna throw it out there. We don't need them for any reason.
I may have to make some. No,
Yeah.
So for people who may not be, from Alabama or Louisiana, as I just learned in full disclosure backstage, can you introduce yourselves and how you became the Ghost Hunting Housewives?
Ooh, we don't know if we can get into all the how the.
We'll leave the X-rated parts out.
We'll leave the rated R's out. So I'm Crystal, founder of GHH, Ghost Hunting Housewives, and we decided after investigating together for 20 years that we were going to create Ghost Hunting Housewives. When we became best friends and started investigating, we were not housewives.
No.
We were single parents and working full-time jobs. And I was working at a location that she had worked at prior in Fort Walton Beach. And it was a very haunted location. And so we became best friends, and we're more like sisters. We think the same way. We can feel when each other's sick. I mean, all the way down to telepathic tendencies. And we created Ghost Hunting Housewives, and people, they like that there are, another women team. And up until yesterday, we were the dynamic duo of Ghost Hunting Housewives. Now we are a trio. We actually found that a friend of ours, Amy Tucker, is not just a friend, but we are distantly related to her. She cousin.
She's our cousin.
I love how the paranormal brings family together.
Yeah. And you guys will be seeing her throughout the year. We're going to get her started, and she'll be joining us on podcasts and stuff as well. So we're going to move her in slowly so she doesn't get too overwhelmed, but she's used to our crazy stuff. So.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so how come she's not on tonight?
Yeah, she's I think she's Ubering, honestly. I don't know. She might be Ubering tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Getting that, what is it, airport traffic.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's probably making good bank too.
She
Yeah.
does. She's in Pensacola, Florida, so she's like right in the middle of us. So
Oh, I just
Ooh,
thought about that. So now we're Alabama, Florida, and
and
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Mhm.
man, all you need is Mississippi, and you got the whole deep South.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get Georgia in there too, and we'll have the whole Southeast.
that's crazy. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
gonna move her in slowly. She investigates with us though, so
And she will
just like
be,
us.
yeah, our equipment manager. Um, and she has history in equipment management for some other teams, and she's going to be investigator and assistant historian with me. So, yeah, and
So, are
helping
you gonna
Carol.
actually let her manage the equipment, or are you gonna
Oh,
say you're the equipment manager and be like,
she can have
no,
it.
you're bringing this, this, and this?
That's she can have it.
I already
We'll
put her
figure
to
it
work.
out.
I've
Yeah,
already put her to work.
yeah.
She's the light maker now.
She's the light maker. She's gonna be soldering those lights together.
The new stripper thumb. So
Yeah.
that's a long story too. So I make REM pods, and then we sell REM pods. And I started getting lock. My thumb started locking, and it's from stripping wires all the time. So we had a friend at one Paracon. His name's Brandon Cooper, very good friend of ours. Started calling it the stripper thumb, or we did, but he carries it on.
He'll tell her, "How's that stripper thumb doing?"
But so now I'm going to toss it over to Tuck, and
And
she
this
will
is
now have the stripper thumb.
this is our gnome, Brandon Cooper. When Brandon Cooper can't be, because he's a ghost hunting housewife as well.
Mhm.
And so we have a gnome that sits with us on our podcast for Brandon Cooper. So that's Brandon.
Aw,
There's
We made him
Brandon.
we made him a ghost hunting housewife.
I was just about to say that's really cool that you are bringing guys in too,
Yeah.
but yeah, and keeping the name, and I bet he has a lot of fun when he, you know, going, and I'm a ghost hunting housewife.
And
Yeah.
everyone absolutely loves it. And they're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a ghost hunting housewife. I even
have
have
a
the
shirt."
shirt. I have a shirt and it's got my name on the back. I'm a ghost hunting housewife."
It's official.
It is official. So we actually have Shane and Angie McLean as well, and Shane will wear his ghost hunting housewife shirt. He wears it, and he's founder of Outer Realms Paranormal, and he wears his shirt too. No
Yeah.
shame in his game. All them
And you
East
see,
Coast boys, they're all about the ghost hunting
he's
housewife
got
shirt.
one of our stickers on one of his Yeti cups now.
Yeah.
He was showing that off online the other day.
So we don't, there's no just women type thing. Everyone that wants to be a part of us can come and hang out, collaborate with us. You don't have to be a woman to be a housewife.
That's true these days.
I mean, you don't. And my husband tells everybody, we're going to be changing when he retires from the military. He's going to be the housewife, so we're going to have to change the name of our group.
Ghost hunting, ghost hunting.
Hot wives.
Housewives.
That's what Santiago said we should be called once retirement sets in. Is hot wives, not housewives.
Hot flash.
Hot wives, that too, because we'll be
Ghost hunting
about
hot
that
flash
age.
wives.
We're the hot flash wives.
So I'm kind of curious, Carol, what got you into building REM pods?
I don't know. Well, the big thing is we like people to know that you don't have to buy the $100-$200 equipment for ghost hunting. There's a lot of things we do. Like we did a couple of speeches on frugal ghost hunting. So we decided to start building things. We built other things than REM pods, but REM pods are like our main thing. We sell a lot of those. So we build them at a price where people can afford them, and they do the same thing the expensive ones do. And people that are just getting into ghost hunting or whatever, they can actually afford equipment that works just like the other stuff because uh, it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, you can, like, what is it, motion sensors? You could buy a regular motion sensor,
Yeah.
you know, at a store and put it out at an investigation, and it works just as good as other things. But
Styrofoam cups. I mean, we go into detail about the different things that you have in your house that you could easily use at an investigation.
yeah,
You bring in static electricity into styrofoam cups, and it's the same thing. You're watching stuff move, and you just
bells
put the
on a
marker on the
string.
ground.
Yeah,
I'm about to age myself. When you said styrofoam cups, I was thinking cups on a string doing the telephone
You
thing.
could do it that way.
could
You
do it.
could do it and see if they move and they bounce and, those sorts of things. We do, a lot of different things. And so,
So, do you make your guys' equipment more user friendly? Because I know, being from experience, people will go, "Oh, hey, that light's going off. I don't know what that light means, but it's going off."
yeah, yeah.
we don't give a locate, like a distance. So on a lot of equipment, proximity sensors, you have different lights for different distances from the antenna, from the proximity around the antenna. And most people don't know that. They don't know that this light is because there's a temperature change, and this light is because it's X amount away from the antenna. All of ours are the same proximity, and we show people at Paracons what the proximity is around our equipment.
Yeah.
So one thing that Carol did, and you can take that away, Carol, with the changes you did to the rims, if you want to, with the batteries and stuff.
Just the our equipment does one thing. The one thing it's supposed to do. There's no fancy temperature gauge over here because I mean honestly, like who uses it? I mean some people might, but when we have
When starting
regular
out,
pod, we're just waiting for something to get close to it and go off. I don't care what the temperature is, and I mean probably shouldn't be that way, but no, it
Yeah, and the temperature doesn't work because if you're in a location with broken windows,
yeah.
you
There's a
know,
lot of things,
temperature's
drafts,
gonna change.
yeah, drafts and all that. Yeah, our equipment is for one thing only, user friendly. I mean, push the button, turn it on.
That's it. Lift
That's
your
it.
antenna.
Lift
Is
the
yours
antenna
that
up.
odd location battery too?
Oh
It's
no,
inside.
all our batteries are inside the equipment.
You have you
Let
do.
me. I'll grab you one. Let me get one and show
She'll
you.
grab you one. She actually, one of the biggest things that we had an issue with was every time we purchased something, the battery was on the outside and it had a clip. And you put the 9-volt in there, that clip's going to break. It's going to get knocked off. We got tired of it.
And ours is just
Ooh, yours is that soup look.
battery. What's up? And let's see.
Oh, I like that door for the battery.
Yeah, battery's inside. There's most of our stuff, well, pretty much all of it. There's something I'm working on now. The battery will not be inside the device. It'll still be inside a case, but it won't be inside the device. But that's top secret right now.
Yeah, we'll be releasing that soon.
I'm working on.
Don't worry, I'll tell you later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll tell you later.
Yeah, we'll tell you later. Working on two different.
We won't release it to the public yet.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for episode 2.
Or 7, because it might take us a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet episode 2 of you being on the show.
Oh yeah, we
not
could do
next
that.
week.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So there
I
will
don't know
be
if that would work.
two new things coming out eventually, but.
So, what's your favorite equipment to mess with and create besides the REM pod?
Well, the REM pod is my favorite, but I can kind of do that in my sleep, but I'm kind of tired of doing it. That's why I'm turning Tuck into a light person. She's going to be putting all the lights together for me because all our equipment.
Everything is done in our homes.
Yeah.
In her sunroom, my sunroom. We bring the kids in and have an assembly line, taking taking guts and making guts. I got my kids involved even. It's a big family affair.
Yeah. And everything's done by hand. It's all cut out by hand. All this is cut out by hand. This is cut out by hand. This antenna is cut out. So it's a lot of work.
I'm starting to feel a little lazy talking to you people.
We're busy all the time.
We wake up every morning and we hustle. Everything that we do from the time we wake up. I mean, we have, I don't know, 4 or 5 meetings in a 24-hour period about what we have to do, what's going on the calendar, what do we need to do before this one, and how much do we need to take for that. And it's a very busy schedule, but we do it, and we'll do it till we can't do it anymore.
Have you ever thought about putting voices to the equipment?
No, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
But I've made a few other things, but we don't sell them anymore because it was a lot. One person, making something, and then the REM pod was the favorite anyway. So,
we can't keep them in stock. When we go to Paracons, they sell out in 20, 30 REM pods at every Paracon, and they're gone.
We used to sell them on Etsy, and we stopped selling them on Etsy because you can't keep up.
The demand.
And we need them for our Paracons and stuff like that. And then we're never at home, so there's nobody there to mail things out. So it's like, no more. If you need them, we'll be at Paracons. If it's an emergency, reach out to us. If we can do something for you, we will.
Definitely. If we have an extra and you need one, just send us a message and we'll let you know if we have any extras lying around or she's got an extra ready to go.
Yeah. But
that's really cool.
As far as Etsy, nah. No more.
I was just thinking, with the REM pod, because it's like a lot of times they'll go off when you're not around. And so to have like a voice, you could make it like Australian or New York or going, hey,
Irish.
I'm going off.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I don't think
Come hither to me. I'm going off. Oh, you.
Or be like, red alert, ghost present. Ghost present.
That would be cool. Something to think about. Don't give me any more ideas. I already can't sleep at night. All night long. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going out to the sunroom. I'm like, okay, I need to go to bed. Everything runs through in my head when I should be sleeping. So,
isn't that always the case, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite Paracons to go to in 2023?
Honestly,
I would have to say Ozark because of the people we met.
Deep South Paracon. Yeah. Deep South Paracon was our favorite all year. We absolutely, it's my hometown of Ozark, Alabama. So I got to go home to the first Paracon ever in my small little town of Ozark, Alabama.
We met some amazing people.
We met amazing people. Miranda Young from historic Scotts County Jail. We met Santiago Cirillo, who is, one of the best actors I have ever met in person. He was on The Walking Dead and a bunch of other stuff. We got to meet Lee Brown. The list just goes on and on. So we got to meet a lot of people that we hadn't met.
Brandon Cooper, the new
Brandon Cooper. Yeah, our security guard.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where we were being not really bullied, but someone wanted to throw their seniority over at us and treat us poorly. Well, the people that were there weren't going to stand for that. And we had so many people that came together, and it wasn't just para-unity, it was unity. Yeah. People come together to stand behind us and support us and say, we're not going to tolerate that. Yeah. And just to see the amount of people that actually cared, that most people would just be like, oh, they'll handle it themselves. No. Not these group of people. They were like, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. So it it was a great event. And I know that Stan and Teresa will be doing Deep South Paracon again in 2024, but I think it has moved from August to October this year. So it's going to be a great event, I'm sure, in my hometown, Ozark, Alabama. Yeah, at the Civic Center. There ain't much there. There's a couple hotels, but that's about all you get. There's not much there.
So, what's your favorite places to investigate? Are you like one of those that likes to drive and will stop at every cemetery along the way, or?
Not really
No.
cemeteries.
Unless we're with Sean.
Yeah, unless
we're with Sean, we're going to stop everywhere.
When we're with Sean Daniel, Suncoast Paranormal, and Suncoast Films, we will stop at every cemetery, every bridge or haunted location.
He has some good stuff. He does.
Yeah, because he is, and I mean his work is phenomenal. But not really anymore. We were chased at one point at a cemetery in Alabama at dark.
I think it was Bigfoot.
Now Carol is convinced, and I honestly don't know. She was like, "Get in the car. My kid is with me. My at the time 15-year-old." Yeah. And she's like, "Get in the car. Something's chasing us." And I'm like, "What?"
And I'm hobbling. I have a bad leg. So.
She had just had knee surgery like the year before. So she's like, she can't run. So she's like, "Get in the car." And she's hobbling. But certain cemeteries, yes. But not really anymore. Just driving down the road and be like, "Oh, look, a cemetery. Let's go." And,
we're big into historic
locations
like battlefields and jails,
forts.
Those are big.
I love you said sports, and I was like,
"No,
I guess an arena or stadium could be."
I am an Alabama fan, so there's lots of history there.
But we like history.
We do. And I mean, being a military spouse, I traveled all over the U.S. I've worked with multiple historical societies up and down the East Coast, D.C., Washington, D.C., Maryland, the founding area in the Atlantic corridor, Jamestown. And so history is my favorite part, I think, of all of it. Somebody can call me up and be like, "I need you to do historical research on this location." No questions asked. I'm on the computer and taking care of it. So,
yeah.
So, do you feel like being a soldier's wife has opened up some of those historical society doors?
Oh, yeah. Not going to deny that one. Yes. Thank you, Uncle Sam. No, it really has, because most people don't. I mean, we're traveling and moving to different locations where most people who have been investigating for 20 or 30 years, they haven't got to live in the Southwest and then move to the Northeast, and then back to the Southeast. And you have all these locations. When we lived in Maryland, I had Gettysburg, we had Washington, D.C., we had Jamestown, Alexandria. We could go up to New York State, all of these different locations. So with having such it does open up a lot. A lot of people can't get on military bases, and there are places on military bases that I personally can't get into either. But there's a lot of things that I can go to as well.
Crystal, let's use that discount.
I'm just picturing Crystal walking into a store and being like, "I need to talk to the historian." "Oh, they're not here." Do you see this military ID?" "Oh, yeah. Let me go get them for you."
This right here says I can talk to whatever I want, whenever I want, at whatever time I want. Thank you. You can wake them up. But really, it's opened up a lot of doors over the years. We're getting close to retirement. So that won't be happening as much. But, I still have my military ID to get on base
Yeah,
with.
but see, now she'll be, when he retires, he'll be at home and she'll be out ghost busting.
Mhm.
She'll be on the base investigating, and he'll be like, why didn't you ever come on the base when I was on the base?
Mhm. Because I knew he'd want me to go by the commissary and pick up some sushi.
And I was teasing her. I was like, oh, and I'm close to senior citizen discounts, so we're going to get some discounts at places.
You don't look that old, Carol.
Oh, but I am.
But she is.
But I am. No.
I think it's great that you are out there and doing all of this and being active and doing it for the history, because I was just talking with a guest last week and we were talking about that. Yeah, nobody really shares anymore the history. You'll find a few out there who do deep dive history, and some do partial history just to have names or something. And it's like, yeah, there's so much more. And
And
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
we're all
thing
about the history.
to add on to that is a lot of people will take the information they got from a book or information they heard from another team that investigated, and it's like the telephone game.
Yeah.
And then the story changes. They're not willing to go in and deep dive history and research when it comes down to it. You don't know how many times I go to a location and they're like, "Will you research this for me?" And I get in there and I'm like, where did this information come from? Oh,
Yeah.
well, so and so said this, or this person investigated and they said this is what happened. I'm like, that not even true. Let me show you the historical records. We've got newspapers, we got census, we got obituaries. We have, and I go all the way down to making a family tree of people who lived at the location. Right now, there's a location I've been working on for 2 years. It's called the Oksana House in Oxford, Alabama. And it's an up and coming, really awesome location, and people are starting to investigate there more and more. And the owner, Renee, I've been researching with her. I actually decided that it was best to find out the Cooper lineage by making a tree. And I have gone back to the 1600s on some of the tree, the members of the leaves on the tree. Um, and then finding out where they started from. It isn't just the location that we're investigating. We need to know, where did they come from? Where did they migrate from? Were they original settlers on the East Coast, or did the family come from a different location? Did they go to Jamaica before they came to the Georgias, the Carolinas? Those are things that you want to know, because when you go into a location and you want to ask questions, those people kept records for a reason.
Yeah.
You got family Bibles, the records back then, you didn't trust the census because the census changed their names, but you trust the family Bibles and the family stories and the history that's been passed down through generations. And you can't forget to do that part. And that's the part, that's my passion, is making sure people are doing that part and making sure that it's real history, not history that's made up by somebody.
Yeah.
right, and there's a location near me in Mineral Wells that I investigate a lot. It's actually is a abandoned military base,
Oh.
which our National Guard uses half of it. And it was kind of funny because the lady that runs the haunted house there and is like caretaker of the two buildings, she went up to me and she's like, "Hey, you're a history guy, right?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Can you give me the history, of this building?" And I could tell she was thinking World War II to Vietnam. I was like, here's the prehistoric records. Here's the colonial period exploration. Here's the Indian Wars, the Civil War. Here's your
And people look at history, and they look at history, and it's just certain things that they remember. Like they don't remember World War II. They don't remember, French and Indian War. They remember the Civil War. They remember World War One, or, I mean, even in our lifetime, they don't remember, a lot of the storms that have taken and wars that have taken place in our areas. But and even over in the sandbox, people don't remember these sorts of things. Me, I may have hit my head against the pavement at 65 miles per hour, but I can remember some history. So,
Yeah.
There's
Well,
that.
you'll understand a place, and your investigation will work a lot better if you know all the history.
As
Because
much as you possibly can.
Yeah, because you can just go in and ask the same questions that everybody asks.
I mean, just think about it though. How boring would it be when you have 100 teams going in there and they're all asking the same question over and over again? They're like, oh gosh, here we go with that question again. You know what I mean? I would be that person. I'm like, I would come through.
If I was a ghost, I'd be like, again.
Here we go again. That would be an EVP that you would catch if you were investigating my house after I die. Here we go again. Same question.
And it was funny because I did that when we were doing an experiment there, a medium goes, there's a Native American here. And they're all like, why? And I was like, in my mind, I'm going, there were Indian wars nearby here. Then the Indians didn't, we're near a border of two tribes. So, there's going to be a little conflict.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised you're here.
Yeah. There's not a lot of people that, care about the history. Yeah. And the history is what makes the place. And
history is being forgotten, and we have to take a stand. We have to work hard. There are locations in towns across America that are being destroyed to put up condos, like really? Like, let's save the history and try to, conserve and preserve as much as we can. It's
right.
What are we giving to our children but erasing history? That's all we're doing.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is like even I had a hard time finding records of it, but I found a couple that alluded to, it was a German POW camp in World War II.
Yeah.
And it's like, how, to be able to say I stepped foot on a POW camp is like, changes everything, because it's now we understand why we're getting German soldiers talking to us.
and that goes back into the evidence you get. I've had people ask me all the time, like, what about this or what about that? I'm like, do you honestly think that they all speak English?
Yeah, they don't. Just because we do doesn't mean they do.
They don't understand. I mean, do we, I know, even when I go down to the valley in Mission, Texas, no, I'm not going to be able to speak a lot of English because they didn't know that, when a lot of these places were built. And the same thing when you go over to, if I went over there with my Southern accent to Scotland, you know what? They would probably tell me to leave. They would. They'd be like, you just need to go. What is this you're speaking of? I have no idea.
They're going to be like, where are y'all from?
Where are they?
Louisiana.
We'll be having a battle of the accents.
I know. And so it's funny that you say that, because one of my best friends, she's a Brummie from Birmingham, UK. And so I do have this problem of using the accents when I talk to her or to someone else from another culture. And I will try to use those accents, and I don't mean any harm by it. It's just like, hello love, or hello mate. And so she got me a shirt one year that says, don't make me use my British accent.
That's funny. I have some friends over in the UK and Scotland, and they all laugh at me because they're like, you're one of the only few Americans that actually pronounces it right. Because it's not Scotland, it's Scotland.
Scotland.
And they're like, whatever I'll say it, it's like, yeah, I'll be like, I want to go to Scotland. And they're like,
There you
thank
go.
you for saying it properly.
Scotland. You got to put the into it.
It's like, we didn't fight for, land for, just to wipe our name off.
And that's it, and most of my family is actually, my history and my genetic background and genealogy. Most of mine dates back to Scotland, all the way back to Robert de Bruce, or you've got King Richard, or Mary Queen of Scots.
So you're going to laugh at this, Crystal, talking about genetically, all of that. My ancestor was Cornyn the Red, who was murdered by Robert the Bruce to become the Guardian. And
it's
my
okay, we're friends.
co-host,
We're friends.
Kel,
We're all friends here.
We're friends, all of us.
no, but how funny the world works is I met a gentleman named Robert Bruce, who is a descendant of Robert the Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
And Kel, that I do Paranormal Verses with on Thursdays, is a descendant of Robert the Bruce as well. And so I'm like, apparently our family is
Apparently we're supposed to show you all the time what our ancestors did to yours. Just gonna throw that out there.
It really is a
that,
small
or
world,
maybe
though.
be like the one that's gonna end this writ and be like, hey, you know what? It happened. Let's get on with it.
Let's move along, little doggies. Well, I mean, Carol and I have been best friends for 22 years. And we just found out this last year that we're related.
Yeah.
22 years.
And then Tuck comes
and then
along.
We found out at the end of the year that we're related to Tuck as well. So,
Ghost Hunting Housewife, cuz.
We might be related to you too. It's a weird world when you start getting, 700-800 years into a genealogy line, and your pedigree is like, oh, wow, we're related to a lot of people.
So when I was doing the family tree, my sister had started it. And I was like, man, you're missing all these gaps. And so I took it actually back well into BC.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And I was laughing with the company because I wrote them and said, I can't create a book. And they go, what are you talking about? I said, whatever I try to add the people in BC, it will not add them. And they go, you have family in BC? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, nobody has gotten that far back yet that we know of. Yeah. So we're going to have to go now and look at seeing if we can fix this.
Yep. And it goes back into those history lovers. Like, we don't take no for an answer. We will find the answers. And I never stop. I just keep going. Somebody gives me a name. I'm like, oh, let me do that. Let me look that. Let me see if I can plug that in somewhere.
And don't you always find it funny? It's like my dad's side, the paternal side, I ran back into BC. Maternal side, not so far back.
Yeah.
My mom's side, not so far back either side. It's like apparently they were in the area that got the records destroyed because there is like I've been hitting a wall for years.
Well, I mean, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but most of mine is on royal descents on both sides. So I've got, the Spanish King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella. Yeah. So it was a lot easier to gather records on royalty than it was non-royalty.
I found it quite the opposite because a lot of the royals would have like long lists of children, but then you would go to a royal site that has the pedigree, and it's like 2/3 of those kids just disappeared. And it's like, where did they go or where did they come from?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had so much royal that I was like, you know what? Forget the kids. I just want my grandparents. Forget their siblings. This is too much. I'm
Mhm.
getting
Goes
too
on and on and
confused.
on.
And it goes on when you start adding the nieces and the nephews and the cousins and the, fifth cousins and,
Yeah.
no. I start out now, if I find a leaf somewhere or I'm working on a tree and I find something that is quite interesting, I will go further into that. Like right now, the one going back to the Oksana house that I'm working on, there is a person that was married to another man's wife in the family, and then that when she was married to her first husband, then she married another man, and then she died and she left all these children. And then, in when you're doing your research, it's like, okay, was it a Reed or was it a Brock, or and then come to find out later on that the person actually one of the children from Ruth Ann uh, wasn't related to the Coopers at all, married into the Cooper family. So it's just
One
like
of
a
those
big
things.
old mess of drama.
Days of our lives.
It's like,
Well,
wow, is this General Hospital?
Yeah. Hey now.
and my favorite when you do the genealogy research too of locations is you'll either hit NN, which means no name, because they
Mhm.
don't know who it is, or they'll call them Miss like Cooper. And so you're getting all these Cooper hits, and you're like, but that's not her name. Her
Yep.
name was not Cooper.
Cooper, that's right.
You gotta use the maiden name.
That's it. Now, if I'm looking for the paternal side of things, I will always put Reed or Cooper or whatever above it, because sometimes you get some of the best hits off of just having that last name plugged in there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't work on the maternal side though. Got to find the maiden name for that.
The only way it works on the maternal side is if you're doing her dad and then running that line.
Yep.
But even then, because there could be like two Theodores,
I know.
and you're like,
Come on,
wait,
Teddy.
which Theodore? And they're both married to the same name person, and you're like, oh my god, how can
Is it Teddy 1 or Teddy 2?
married to
4,
Olivia
5.
1 or Olivia 2?
Oh, Teddy.
Or my other favorite is when you're doing it, and all of a sudden you're like, you sit back and go, how come these three names are identical to over here? And then you realize, like you're saying, oh, she married the brother. That's why these names are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which
We know what we call that in Alabama.
yeah, but actually that was not uncommon in the old days, where if
Keep it in
the
the
husband had a brother and the wife was the sole survivor, that she would end up marrying his brother because you're already a part of the family. Why not?
That's where keep it in the family. Keep it in the family.
You don't have to change any documents.
That's
No.
it. And you also get to keep family secrets and ghosting clauses too, so you don't have to worry about that. Like, oh well, we'll just pass her on down the line to the next one, And I mean, it could be a 35-year-old woman and she's marrying, a young 19, 20-year-old boy because they're keeping it in the family.
Yeah,
it's weird, or vice versa.
Flowers in the attic.
Yeah, like that.
I always thought it was really creepy when doing the genealogy of either locations or my own family, where it's like the guy is like 20 years older and going, yeah, I'm thinking this was arranged. I'm sorry. I just don't see a 12 or 14-year-old woman of the day, being that's the appropriate age, not saying today,
My great-grandmother.
that going, hey, mister, you're in your 40s. We should get married.
Yeah. No. Pretty
My
sure
great
they were
grandfather
around.
was 38 when he married my great grandmother that was 14. That's an Elvis Presley situation if I ever heard. But no, and it happened, and it can't, again, you can't deny or change history as much as we want to, as much as, people out there are like, oh, we just pretend it doesn't happen, but it did happen. So you just need to embrace it and accept it, and let's go. Move on. Find something else that we can research.
Yeah.
I'm curious, being that both of you are in what we would call the antebellum South.
Hmm.
Have you gone to locations and found like disappointment rooms?
Yes. And you know what else is often very common in the South and in the Atlantic corridor? One thing that I did find that was very common in the 17 and 1800s was seance rooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It was.
We actually went into Myrtle's plantation March of last year, and we had basically the entire house to ourselves. And then we went into to help them turn out all the lights after an overnight type of tour. And I went to walk into the seance. Well, it used to be the women's parlor, and the women's parlor held the seances. I couldn't physically walk into the room. It was like something was pushing me backwards, and I couldn't get my breath. I actually had to leave the entire house, walk out on the front, and go into another door to be able to get through the house.
I know what you're talking about, and I was there March 4th of this last year.
I wonder
what day were we there? You may have been there when we were there.
Yeah, might have been.
Hold on, let me look. Let me look at this. Let me look at my calendar.
I remember when it was. Look, Crystal, look. Yeah.
You may have been there when we were there. We were in the Woodruff suite.
We did an overnight.
Yeah, we did.
We left because people were loud and drunk in the next room. So we left at like 1 o'clock in the morning because
that wasn't us.
We
We had the whole house.
Yeah, we had the whole
we had the Woodruff suite upstairs,
downstairs,
and then we had the foyer, the entire inside. Let's see. March. I don't think so. I think it was like end of March.
No, that would have been cool.
March.
Passed by each other and didn't even know it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys arrived March 5th.
We were actually there after 1 week after you were. We were at Myrtle's on the 12th.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the 12th of March. Because I just remember our shoes, our black Under Armour tennis shoes were all
yellow. They were yellow.
Yeah. Did you get to go to the cemetery at the church while you were there? Mm-hmm.
Yep, we did Grace Cemetery.
While we were there, we had little children playing with us, popping their little heads up over headstones and stuff.
The St. Episcopal Church, that cemetery out there.
Grace Episcopal.
And yeah, I love that cemetery. Been there a few times actually. But that last time we got some crazy evidence. Evidence.
Yeah.
I got my craziest EVP in that cemetery.
She got her craziest at the pond at Myrtle's.
Yeah, in the gazebo at Myrtle's.
Oh, that gazebo is so nice.
Yeah, she went out there just having dinner with her husband one night, and she's, we just take, voice recorder, K2 meters, like what every normal person takes when they go places. We just throw that in our purse every time we go.
I gotta ask, because it was rampant when we were there. How did you get the crickets, the grasshoppers, and the frogs to stop singing?
Well, it did during the EVP. Everything.
Yeah. So when she did her EVP, like when we were there in March, it was just constant. It was like chirping and croaking, and it was just like, rah! And then the temperature dropped really, really. It dropped really 35, 40 degrees that night. So everything went silent after like 1 o'clock in the morning. but we didn't have winter gear with us in March. But when she went back on the date night with her husband just to eat dinner there, and she went to the gazebo, she got the EVP. It said, "I'm dead," but you couldn't hear the crickets and the frogs or anything. And it was almost middle of summer,
Yeah.
so would have definitely heard them, but you can hear them at the end. They all started back up, and you can hear
Yeah.
the croaking and the
It's like
chirping.
everything just stopped. When
Stopped.
the EVP
It's like
came
time
through.
stood still.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Mine at the cemetery. The reason why I say is my most interesting EVP is I'm over by the mausoleum where you can take the steps down, but they have it gated off where
Yeah.
the supposed Confederates were.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm panning my body cam, one cat meow comes out of nowhere.
Aw, you got the cat.
And I'm like, and I back it up, and I'm like, it took me 4 times to listen to it and go, okay, guys, what do you hear? And they're like, oh, well, you just got a cat that must have been roaming around. I was like, yeah, but listen again. And they're like, wait, there's only one meow.
Yeah.
Aw.
You had
What
heard
cat only does one meow?
Yeah.
Aw.
And there was no cat anywhere on film. And it's like, yeah, and then it's like a week later, a friend of mine that was there with us wrote me and goes, hey, you remember that cat you got? Yeah. Well, I just was looking at and remembered on the back of the church is a pet cemetery. And I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, that cemetery is very active.
You never know what you're gonna get there. When we
got
went,
charged.
yeah, we got literally ambushed. We're
Yeah.
standing in the
It
side.
was raining, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, not that
No,
night.
not yet. No.
It was raining the little things from the tree.
Yeah.
But we were standing in the long driveway area where you got some graves on the left or in the right, and then the church is on the left. So we were standing in the middle of that long driveway, looking back to the back side of the cemetery, and I've got my camera. I'm recording. Carol is over here, and I think you were running thermal imaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was
Yeah.
doing a thermal image at the same time. All of a sudden, we get this orb, and we're not really big on black. Oh, it's an orb, you know?
Yeah,
No, we don't do that. But we see this orb, and until I slowed it down, it just looked like a normal orb, just going zoop. But once I slowed it down, you can see the beard, you can see the eyes, you can see the nose, and it was one of those. When it charged us, we both went like this.
Yeah, it was
Same
like
time. Yeah.
ducking.
And we got
I'm listening. It's just I'm also hearing. I can't tell if it's outside or it's like I'm hearing something else going on during the show, and I'm like, I can't tell if it's like if there's
inside
a
or
feral
outside.
cat out there trying to sing, or if it's kids out there. And I'm like, I don't think there'd be kids at this hour, but you know, there's no school, maybe.
My kids are asleep. Well, one is. The other one's
I have a heater on. Think you hear that? Maybe. Or you hear it over at your place, Michael?
Well, I couldn't tell if I was hearing it through the screen or if I was hearing it through a window, but it was like, I hate to say it, but it was kind of almost like a very low, soft Charlie Brown teacher-esque, where all I could make out was wah, wah, wah. And I'm like, what is that?
I don't know. I don't have that sound. So I've got the heater on, the fireplace. But
I know I have a heater on. I don't know.
But I didn't hear it, wah, wah, wah. So.
I don't hear it now, so it couldn't be that because I'd still be hearing it if it was your guys' heaters.
Yeah, that's true.
But I actually, though, will say last week's show had the funniest thing happen is during the show, I said to my guest, oh, what's, behind the door, behind you because it's closed now. And he goes, oh, that's my daughter's room. She must have closed it. Well, we find out after the show, his daughter's not in there.
Oh.
Nobody was in that room. And so I'm like, dude, I had a door closed on my show.
Hey, nice.
You never know what you're going to catch.
Yeah.
No,
When you're going to
I
catch
know.
it.
And I had a friend come on and he was talking to me in his wood shop, and we both were throughout the show hearing another conversation going on underneath our conversation and
Oh.
going, God, I love the paranormal because you just never know what's going to happen on
No,
a
you
show.
never
Yeah,
know.
you just never know when it's going to happen. I love it. I love it. I love the history and the mystery.
Oh, I love that saying.
Yep. The history and the mystery.
History and the mystery.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Is that copyrighted by chance?
I was
No.
going to say, write that down.
Who's going to hashtag
Oh, wait,
that?
no. Let me go trademark that real quick. Hold on, I'll be back.
Let me hashtag that really quick. No,
Oh,
so what's up? And you mentioned there's a lot going on for you guys in 2024. What can you share?
We're filming and releasing our first 6 episodes, season 1 of A Ghost Hunting Housewives Chronicles. And then we have 2 books that are that are in the works that will be released in 2024. Can't really get into detail about some of the other things that we have coming in the first part of the year. We will put those out on social media real soon, though. I will say that you can buy your copies when they come out. So we have
That pretty much
Paracons.
narrows that field.
We have Paracons galore. I mean, we're booked with Paracons. We're at 3 Paracons right now, but we have
Possibly an event.
Yeah, we have events with Louisiana Spirits. Actually, we have one of those coming up on January 20th. We have polygel investigations. I think we got another 2 of those scheduled for the year, maybe 3. We are in the works at a bigger location, and can't really get into detail on that one either, but there will only be 6 people at this very, very, very big location.
Yeah.
And so we're basically getting locked in at this location with only 6 of us.
I'm thinking I know which location it is from that description.
How do you do that? Close. It was close.
Yeah, it's like,
We're just going to do a lot of different things this year.
Start using your body to spell out the letters.
YMCA.
Yeah.
Well, that just showed my age. Now I feel really old. But yeah,
I can even go older than that within the Navy.
I'm
The
not going there.
we've got quite a few that we're going to be doing with Haunting Angels, and then we've got quite a few investigations and collabs we're doing with Suncoast Films and Paranormal down in Pensacola. And it's just right now we're looking at the calendar going, wow, it's not that full, but between filming and editing and all the other things that we're releasing and doing, Carol's working on more equipment to be released at the cons. We're going to be busy. My husband just looked at my calendar going, you're going to be gone for like 3 weekends straight. And I'm like, oh, I am. Sorry for giving you the new puppy and saying, oh, I'm leaving to go out of town now. So yeah, it's going to be fun though. We're going to have a big year. We got a lot in the works. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways. We also will have we're going to be on Buy Me a Coffee So y'all can come and get some perks on Buy Me a Coffee.
Get behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of behind the scenes. And I mean, so just imagine how funny we are on the podcast. And then you just add that into the investigation.
Oh, it's
so
worse. It's worse than the investigation.
I was about to say, I was going to be like, so are you one of those teams that's like totally serious during investigation, or
we have our moments?
Where you see the little yin yang where it just balances out. Well,
Right.
you have the serious side.
I found it.
You have the serious side, which is Carol. And then you have the not so serious side, which is me. But she used to be the not so serious one too, so we didn't really have a yin yang. Now we do.
I got old.
That's why I was laughing, because I was like, after this interview, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would call Carol the dead serious one.
I
no,
am.
But she is the more serious one.
She
will tell me, Crystal, sit down. Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, she did find the yin yang in the logo.
I did. I put it straight at it. I was like, whoa.
She got it first shot.
I know. I'm not going to try to get it because I probably won't do it. But
so, like I like to do in my shows is a moment of full transparency. We were laughing about how on shows you'll see people like saying, you got to talk to this person next to me, but they're not on that side. They're on this side. So we were laughing on how, on shows people are pointing at something and don't realize they're not pointing at what they think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, I'm pointing over there. Why am I over here?
So, Crystal, I gotta ask, above your fireplace over your left shoulder, there's been a blinking light. Is there a blinking light over there?
There's a TV. The living room. Or is that the bed? That's the bedroom?
No, I've been noticing every once in a while.
It's a window.
The other side.
Yeah, it's a window. Oh, wait.
Oh, don't be confusing me now.
It's a window. So I think it's what
to the
wall.
Because the wall every once in a while would be like, it would like light up a little bit, then get a little bit lighter, and then it would get.
My husband's watching Survivor.
Oh.
He's watching Survivor in that room right there. Yeah. I think he's aspiring to be on Survivor. I'm just saying, if he wants to go and try and win some money, whatever. But yeah, he's in there watching Survivor. But we have this, like, it's all brick in this half of the sunroom, so you can't hear anything that's going on in there. And I hope he can't hear anything that's going on in here.
I was just saying, because if you really want to test him to see if he's wanting to go on Survivor, you could like cook up spaghetti and go, hey, I found these outside. Do you want this for dinner? How much of this are you going to eat?
Well, I'm wondering if y'all can start hearing that booming. There's booming going on in there. Husband got surround sound for Christmas.
Can't hear the surround sound, but I can tell you right now, when I get there, he can turn it off because my head will hurt.
I don't hear the booming.
No, I just hear just a tiny bit, and I'm like, oh, there must be something on there good because I couldn't hear it before.
It's good music.
I don't know what it is, but evidently it was good because it got a little bit louder. I'm like, what is he listening to? He's probably asleep, actually. Probably asleep.
Probably sounds.
Probably.
Yeah, because he gets up at 4 a.m. to go to work, so.
Yeah. So, Carol, are you in the military as well, or?
No.
Involved in?
No military. My husband is a crane operator. He works in plants. We used to be pipeline, so we used to travel as well. So we traveled all over the U.S.
Yeah. No, a lot of respect for that, because I had a family friend's husband was a crane operator, and those can get dangerous. So a lot of respect for
it is dangerous. And when he tells me some stuff, I'm like, shut up. I don't want to know.
And Crystal, interesting question for you is: have you ever been on vacation or vacation? Yeah.
I
Have you
think
ever done a vacation? No. Have you ever been on location and get the call? Oh, your husband has to spin up, and so you have to go leave because
Oh
of
yeah.
the kids.
Well, my husband's a flyer, so he's at helicopters. So he would be gone like, majority of our marriage. I think he was gone the first 2 years of my kid's life. But yeah, there's been many times where he's like, "Hey, hi Pam." He's like, "Hey, with him being search and rescue, it was not uncommon for him to be like, "You got to come home." I'm like, "Okay." So things like that happen. Now that my daughter is almost 17, not so much anymore. She's a good babysitter. Not so much. She's actually really not a good babysitter, but
I was gonna say, there's probably a lot of corruption going on behind the scenes.
oh
I
well,
mean, we have to all make
we corrupt
sacrifices
them too.
for things in
Aunt
life.
Carol corrupts them all the time.
She does. And so, I mean, it's her fault. Aunt Carol did it.
Yeah. Or Uncle
It's
Michael.
kind of funny
the one
watching.
before.
Yeah, it's kind of funny watching like Hallmark Christmas movies. They had one where
Love those.
the lady was like coming home and talking to her daughter, and her daughter's like saying all these big fancy words, and she's like, "Where'd you learn that from?" "Oh, Auntie." She's like, "Could have guessed." Hearing you two, I'm like thinking, yeah, you guys would be good at that movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one right there.
Me?
Right there. That one.
I'm innocent.
Baloney. I mean, my kid goes into like, flipping out because he has to call Aunt Carol and tell her that she's just a nunya.
I know, he gets mad. He tricks me every day. He sets me up with
You
trick
fail every day.
questions because we have this thing. I say nunya. He's like, Aunt Carol, what is that? And I'll be like, nunya. Aunt Carol, what are you doing? Nunya. So now he loves nunya on certain days. Certain days he hates nunya.
And then the other days he's like, I'm flipping done with your nunyas. Okay, he's
You
eight.
get an F.
Get an F.
I was like, it's okay. I got F's in school. I'm used to it. I'm okay with that. I'm good.
I failed a lot in life. I'm used to the failures, so
I'm
it's
used
cool.
to F's. So he tries to set me up a lot of times to say it.
I'd totally turn it on him if he said, "You got an F." I'd be like, "Yeah, F for fun."
Oh, I tell him all kinds of crazy stuff. He gets aggravated sometimes, and other times he's just like, he just leaves. He stops talking to me.
He's like, I'm done, and walks away.
I'm not talking about any of this nunya anymore.
I was just thinking of a question. I was like, I just had a feeling if I asked it, Carol's gonna go nunya.
I was thinking about it.
Probably.
I'd be like, so what's your go-to equipment?
Nunya.
Nunya. I mean, we could bring, if my kid wasn't in here, he'd be like, Nunya. But he's asleep, so that's good.
No, so what's on your guys' bucket list of places you have yet to go to that you want to go to?
Well, Carol, you can start off because we already talked about yours once today.
Mine? Oh, I already forgot.
Sweet Springs.
I already forgot.
Just kidding.
I had a traumatic brain injury, Carol.
Just kidding. I haven't slept in weeks. I've had
Sweet
a lot
Springs.
of. It's Sweet Springs.
Let me pull up my teleprompter. Hold on.
I've had a lot of family crap lately. Well, not really crap, but sad stuff. So, and no sleep. So I'm kind of like, blah. I'll be talking to Crystal. I'm like, that word, you know what I'm talking about, right? She's like, thank God it's Crystal because, yes, she knows what I'm talking about. But yes, Sweet Springs. Mm-hmm. I want to go there so bad. I don't know. I think it's calling me because I'll Google something that's there. I'll go on Facebook. There's something there about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I think we have to go.
I think so.
Eventually we are.
I think we need to make it happen this year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, mine will not happen this year.
No, not this year.
I'm glad you added
We gotta
the
sell
this
lots
year.
of coffees. We gotta sell a lot of coffees for
We
mine.
gotta sell a lot of coffees to go to hers.
What is yours international?
Yeah.
Say it.
Going
Say
to
it in your voice.
Scotland. Go to Scotland.
The
I
Edinburgh.
do want to go there.
tunnels?
I've been to the UK. I've been to England, but I have not made it to Scotland.
I haven't either. I've been to London and the burbs around, but not Scotland or Ireland.
I haven't been to any of those fancy places. The only place I've been to is Dubai.
Well, I mean, you went to some.
I kind of feel like on the scale of things, UK is like not the fancy of Dubai.
Dubai. I
Man,
mean, she's like, all I've been to is Dubai. And I'm like, you got to see water fountains that like shoot them through the air.
that place is amazing. Dubai.
Except for the food. She said the food wasn't.
No,
that
I didn't
wasn't-
like the food, and I like food.
Yeah, we love food. She
But I
didn't
didn't
like
like the food. But it's beautiful over there. Even the mall. I mean, it's amazing the stuff they can do.
I'd go to Scotland. But, yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
I would go
I'm
there.
kind of thinking Carol is on the UK and Scotland's payroll by saying it's not as fancy as Dubai. Dubai isn't the fancy place. Scotland and England is.
Mhm.
Dubai is what would you call it? No, I'm not even gonna be able.
Where
What's
the
that
big
word?
money
Crystal?
is.
That's where the big spenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
oil spenders are.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
A lot of
The
technology.
rich folks,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fancy.
white collar.
Unless you're Tom Cruise and doing a Mission Impossible, and then you're just running down the building, you know.
Yeah. The buildings are amazing. It's crazy. But Scotland would be awesome.
I think Scotland would be better.
Yeah. I want to go to the Edinburgh tunnels.
I just want to live there and have a sheep farm
the sheep farm
in my own castle.
in your own castle.
You know, there are a lot of castles there,
Have
but
a boat with dragons.
I hate to tell you though, if you really want a castle, your better bet is to go to Ireland because it's like
I don't want to go to
every, like,
Ireland. Oh,
Every like 3
No.
yards is like a castle.
I know.
I don't want to go to Switzerland.
That's where the outcasts go, though. So I don't want to go to Ireland. I want to Scotland. Go to that. And I don't want to be in the lowlands either. I want to be in
How
the
is
highlands.
Ireland the outcast? They're the same clans as Scotland, really. They're all the
No,
Because
Celtics.
Crystal's
The
judgy. She's judgy.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Because she's
I'm
judgy.
part
That's
Irish,
all.
by the way.
She's judgmental.
I am very judgmental. They're the outcasts. That's why they're no longer in the highlands or the lowlands or the eastlands or the westlands. They're in the westlands.
She's judgy.
I haven't
I
got
am
a
a very
t-shirt.
judgy person. What can I say?
I haven't got a
Same in
t-shirt
my
for
game.
doing genealogy that goes, I am Scottish and a wee bit Irish.
And a wee bit Irish. Well, it's really funny because so they don't have a Scottish thing for my iPhone. So it's Irish. Okay. So when she's telling me to go places in her
Floppy
native
voice.
tongue, I get mad and I start yelling at her and telling her she doesn't know what she's talking about. And the other day, apparently, when they did this new iPhone update, now my voicemail is a ginger. And Tuck calls me and she goes, "Why is your voicemail British?" And I was like, "It's not British." And Virginia's like, "Mom, it's your Irish person that talks to you in the car." And I was like, "It's on my voicemail now? So this ginger's just taken over my entire life?"
Her phone takes over everything. We'll be in a parking lot and her phone is going off in my car and she's in her car. I'm
That's
like,
just because
hey,
you never
roll your window down for a minute. Your husband's calling. Everybody's
It
phone
happens
is
all the
connected to
time.
my car except for my phone. My phone's not connected to my car, but
That's
everybody else's
because
phone
you don't
is.
want it connected to your car. I offered Thomas has got his connected.
Son-in-law.
Amanda's got hers connected. I've got mine, and I even think Virginia's got hers connected.
Probably, but I don't have
you're
mine.
not connected to your own vehicle. I think that's something you need to talk about in therapy.
I don't connect my phone to other people's cars because I don't want my text messages and my address book being in their car.
Oh,
She wouldn't know how to find that anyways, but it's okay. She can do it. I mean, all of my text messages are pretty much to her and Brandon anyway, so, you know.
yeah.
No,
If she wants all of those notifications going to her car, that's on her.
Yeah, well, I get them all day. I mean, what was it we were looking at the other day and we had 180 text messages?
I have no earthly idea. All I know, it was like from the time.
It was in one day.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was like the day after you got home from here or something. It was like 180. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And when we're not talking about it through text message, we're talking about it on the phone. And I mean, we'd go old school sometimes and actually have, phone calls.
Yeah.
At least 3 times a day. That's not bad.
I love how our generation has gone to the old school category.
My kid, when I call her, it doesn't even ring. It goes straight to voicemail. I have to call her twice for it to actually go through because she's got all of her phone calls incoming silenced immediately. Like, I'm calling you because I need to ask you a question and I don't feel like typing it because my fingers are broken. So you need to, I mean, Siri doesn't really understand when I ask her questions when I'm mad. So, it's kind of like living in another location and you say, I'd like a sweet tea. And they're like, what? It's like that. But, kids today don't know what phone calls are. I just want to give her a rotary phone and be like, here you go. It's stuck to the wall. Have fun. This is all you get.
That's a long cord.
That reminds me of a meme I saw on long time ago. I say long time ago, probably like a year or two ago. And it goes, if you really want to watch millennials fight to the death, get a rotary phone with a quarter on top and figure out who's going to be the one to figure out how to get out.
That's it. That's a new escape game right there.
Yeah.
Escape room. Let's do it. I think I need to make that into an escape room.
Take all the things from our generation and be like, okay, if you can make all of these work, you're going to survive.
Mm-hmm. Atari. Yeah. Like, whoever even no one even knows what Atari is in today's generation.
I know.
I had Intellivision, so I can even predate the Atari.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, kids today have no idea. They don't. And what's even more awful is when a CD player is now found in an antique store. That's really awful.
Yeah.
Or you're doing like puzzles and they go retro. Round discs that are shiny that you used to play music on. I'm like, how did we become retro?
That was only 10 years ago.
But what's even worse though, is being, around in the 80s. The 80s are now on the oldies music channels.
I know.
Oh. Sad. 80s have good music though.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'll listen to 80s music any day.
I was like listening to it going, okay, we're doing a song about Broadway. And they were jumping into, why are we getting the Thompson twins now? It's like, this does not flow in any music genre.
Nope. Not at all. It's definitely changed a lot.
It's even funnier is you get the knock 3 times and then pour some sugar on me.
Pour some sugar on me.
It's like, oh my god, it's like so funny when listening to the oldies sometimes now.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was listening to it, the oldies the other day, and we have this channel in Alabama called Wolf FM, and it's like 80s and 90s, and that's considered old stuff. And I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, this was my jam. And I'm like, it's like 35 degrees outside. I open the sunroof up and let the wind blow through my hair, and icicles hang off my ears and everything,
When I'm
just so that
driving.
I can feel young again. Just so I can feel
I
young.
do that when I'm driving. A good one will come on. I'll be pounding on the steering wheel. Look down. It's like, oh, I'm doing 92. I better slow down.
We're not young
To all
anymore.
the officers watching this show, she doesn't mean miles
Statute of
per hour.
limitations has expired.
Yeah, I'm
Statute
not on the
of
road
limitations.
anymore, so they can't do anything. And
Statute of limitations, and there was no cameras.
yeah, I slowed down when I looked.
That's the
I was like,
important
oh
thing.
crap. No wonder I was passing everybody, but I was having a good time. I was jamming out. I was like, woohoo! I know people probably looking at me because I'm doing all that. Yeah. What does she do? That woman's supposed to be driving when they're pounding on the steering wheel. Oh,
Do a
yeah.
little dance.
I had it going on.
You crazy girl.
I had to wake up.
Oh. So I know I put in the description all the links to where they can find you. Do you want to tell people where to find you?
Yeah. You can find us on almost all of the social media platforms, and on everyone from Facebook to TikTok. Ghost Hunting Housewives. We do have a link tree in all of our bios and descriptions. So there's a link to our link tree that will take you to anything and everything from our calendar to upcoming fundraisers for historic preservation. You can find out if we're doing a giveaway. Buy us a coffee. And we will be doing tiers with buy us a coffee. So, if you buy us $5 worth of coffees, you're going to get some swag. So we will be doing that as well. It's not like you're just buying us coffee and we're not going to give you something back. So we got some cool swag that we're going to be handing out and sending out to our followers. We'll be doing a lot of Paracons, so we will have our event schedule as well up on all of those, and some public investigations as well that we're planning. So we'll get all of those out on our social media platforms, and hopefully you guys can come out and investigate with us or watch us on our live streams, or if you just see Ghost Hunting Housewives on if you just see us like going down the road and you just want to honk and say, "Cheers, bitch, love you," Pam. Now, Pam, you know that we're not that organized. So come on now. We just
it's written
I
down
was just
everywhere.
thinking when you said tier levels for the coffee, going, yeah, there's going to be black coffee, basic. Then there's going to be the frap, and then
extra
the
sugar,
mocha.
extra cream,
Did you say sugar?
extra sugar, extra cream.
Extra cream.
And be like, for those of you who can't get the coffee, there'll be a lemonade.
Exactly. Maybe even strawberry lemonade if you're sweet.
Mike's hard lemonade.
You never know. You never
Carol's
know
over there going, Mike's
on
hard
Buy Me a
lemonade if
Coffee.
you're really good.
But don't really buy me a coffee because I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
So,
I'll
I'd
drink
rather
decaf
have lemonade.
sometimes. And I
Oh,
said
no,
Mike's
that's
hard lemonade,
disgusting.
but we
Coffee's
don't
the
drink
best.
either, so.
Yeah. So you can't buy us alcoholic beverages because we don't drink anymore
Yeah,
either.
we don't drink alcohol.
But I do like Red
This is
Bull.
it. Water.
Water.
24/7.
Water.
That's all I
Caramel
drink.
mocha. Ooh, no, I don't do anything that tastes like coffee. If it tastes like hot cocoa or French vanilla and it doesn't taste anything like coffee, I will drink it. If it tastes like coffee, that's a negative. I will get sick. I do not like coffee.
She'll probably drink it eventually. She used to not like tomatoes.
Yeah, but I've been eating tomatoes for like 13
I
years.
know. I'm like, what happened? I like tomatoes.
I still don't eat raw onions either. I think I'm allergic to those though, so there's that.
Oh. Pam says she needs a caramel mocha, by the way.
A I need a big caramel. Well, you can, when they buy me a coffee, I'll give you a coffee because I don't drink coffee. So we'll just add that caramel mocha onto my tab.
Oh, I just thought of the perfect tagline for your coffee deal. Remember the old Saturday Night Live coffee talk with
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk with Ghost Hunting Housewives. Coffee talk.
We'll give you a
talk.
topic. The house is haunted.
We could get Mom on there to say it.
Yeah. We can get the New Yorker on there to say it.
Yeah.
Coffee
Get Mom.
talk.
Coffee talk. Yeah. She'd be good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see the first coffee talk. It was a dust speck or an orb. Discuss.
Did it have facial hair or no facial hair? Discuss.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh.
Fun times.
Coffee
Coffee talk is perfect. We'll have you on, Pam. We'll have you on Coffee Talk.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We have podcasts we're going to be doing.
Yep, we're starting podcasts. And we've had people ask over and over again, are you guys going to start a podcast? And it's not going to be one that's going to be like an every week thing. It's kind of sort of maybe going to be once a month.
Spotty.
And people will just get like our max out on StreamYard and have like 10 people and just have fun.
We'll have a party.
Because that's just what we like to do.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
So,
we'll have a party.
Be prepared. You're going to have an invite to Coffee Talk.
10 people talking at once.
There you go. Actually, I was on a panel before this show.
We'll have you on
So
Coffee Talk.
panels, I like doing panel shows. Those are kind of fun, where
Yeah.
you get a lot of people sharing information and
Mm-hmm.
You can get us on after 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh boy, that would be a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
it would be an
Really
amazing.
tired.
I'm like,
We
that
get
would be an
loopy.
amazing show because that's about when I hit the sack finally and
Well, we're
finally close
loopy.
my eyes.
We're pretty loopy by that time.
I mean, we're pretty loopy right now, but just imagine what it would be like at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah,
3
It's
o'clock
crazy.
in the morning.
Hey, Lala, that's the panel I was on, was with her.
Oh.
Hello.
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 It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. We were talking about shadow beans.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually had some of those experiences in 2022 at a fort.
Yeah.
Fort Morgan in Alabama. Yeah.
I like how she puts that in the sultry voice.
I told you, like I changed
You can
my
put it in the
voice.
British
Just
voice.
whatever you want. Just throw it at. You want
No,
a
it's
southern
just funny. She's
accent?
like-
I can give you that too, darling.
No, it's just funny. She's like, we had shadow people at Fort Morgan, Alabama. It's like, man, it's like every guy probably.
I should be a voiceover
Fort
actress.
Morgan.
I should be a voiceover actress because I
Yeah.
think my voice is way better than these Netflix people. Because I am so. I mean, then I would really enjoy voiceovers because I won't watch voiceovers because they irritate me when their mouth is moving, but it's like they're saying something over here and it doesn't make sense what's coming on their mouth.
I always turn those off. I'm not scared anymore since she said it like that.
Yeah. I could just see Crystal going,
Shadow figures.
come watch the most gory, scariest movie out there. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I totally got to go see this movie. It's like
Heck,
a scary
done. Write her a check. Yes.
Everybody's going to be like, she lied.
How dare she?
You get an F.
The devil's a lie.
Get an F, Crystal.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
I think I should. I think we need to send information to Netflix for my new venture of voiceover.
You know, it'd be interesting to watch on Netflix a show about voiceovering. It's like you never see like what's involved in doing a voiceover. It'd be like
Or something we haven't seen
I'm
20
gonna do a
times.
reality show on voiceovering.
I think maybe this is something that we can put in coffee talk. I think we should definitely talk.
Voiceover coffee talk. Coffee talk.
With my
that
little
or
ginger on my GPS.
talking about ginger, I used to have an Australian lady, and it was funny as all get out when I would drive into the Native American street neighborhoods because, like, we would say, oh, turn right on Arapaho. No, the Australian lady goes, turn right on Rap-A-Ho. I was like, that is not that street name.
My ginger on my car, she calls Montgomery Montgomery.
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 Sounds like a Care Bear gone wrong.
Montgomery. I was like, what? Montgomery. Well,
All right. Well, this has been a really exciting season opener.
Learned all kinds of things.
come back for episode 2.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna have an episode 2, part 2.
Coffee talk.
Coffee dog.
Ooh, I didn't know you did that, Lala. I don't know why I didn't know. She's a face painter. She's artistic, but she's making organite.
Oh.
Wow.
Organite's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we
Also feels great at cleaning energy.
Yeah. I'll make you one.
Oh, thank you.
You got good folks there, Michael.
Yes,
Yeah. You guys got Pam, I got Lala. What can I say?
I need Pam to pull some cards because things have been going crazy lately, Pam. So I'm gonna call you tomorrow if you're still watching.
She's like, nope, I went and got my coffee.
Buy me a coffee. I got my coffee, so
No. Oh.
I'm trying not to sneeze.
Okay, Lala, do you really want me to put that up on the screen right now?
I read it. It's good.
I mean, I hear you, I get you, but yeah. Probably don't want me to put that on the screen.
No.
See, I got you, Lala.
So are we. It's okay.
Everybody, so Lala, everybody was before they come on my show.
Remember, my ancestors killed your ancestors, and therefore I'm very sorry.
Rubbing it in now.
Yeah.
You said that I was innocent, and I'm just saying I'm confirming my innocence in this, okay?
Yes, Lala, I do this every week on a Tuesday night. I should start making a comic show. That's what we should do as podcasters. One episode a week. Just everybody get together and do like stand-up comedy of like what they went through.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go show y'all my new doggy. I'll be right back. Hold on.
He's cute. His name is Ghost.
Aw.
Yeah, he's a cutie. She probably can't find him. He's probably sleeping with one of the kids.
He's probably like looking at her growling, going, I was asleep. Why are you waking me up?
Where's my dog? Here he comes.
Nope, I hear a door.
Yeah. There he is.
Aww.
Oh, he yawned too. How cute!
This is my boy. Say hi, Ghosty boy. Say hi to everybody. Oh,
I'm a
Mommy
big
forced
hello.
you awake. Because if I didn't force you awake, you'd keep me up all night. Uh-huh. So you can join the podcast so that Mommy can sleep tonight. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, so Pam is around.
Yeah.
Just sweet boy.
Bite her.
That's okay. He probably has. I think he got a couple on the chin.
Got one of my chins earlier.
So is he still in that lick yip phase where he nips or paws at you to get attention?
He'll just slap you in the face. Like he has no shame at all. No shame.
My little one, he'll come up and he'll just like put his paw on you, and if you're not paying attention, then he'll be like, "Hey."
Oh,
hey.
he full force jumps from the center console onto my stomach, like just at 7 weeks old. Just take it, you know. He doesn't care. No shame in his game, but he is completely potty trained, and he knows how to sit, and you know he's very nippy because you know he's just a baby.
So you gonna train him to go on investigations?
Oh yes. But you can't do that when we're investigating.
Be like, so, Mr.
What was that noise?
Charles, what was it like for you living? Okay, hold on.
No, the worst is what's that smell? Crap.
No, he doesn't poop inside.
But we might not be inside.
Well, he is potty trained.
We might be at a port.
Now I just have to house break him or car break him. What would you call that? Vehicle break him?
Ooh, good luck with that.
Trailer break him? I don't know.
Trailer break.
Brake check him.
Take him to the DMV and be like, we need to get him certified.
I need to get a tag for my Aussie. He's insured. His eyes are called ghost eyes because, well, we named him Ghost for a reason. In the Native American culture, black and white Australian shepherds or black and white dogs with blue eyes were called ghost eyes. And so that's where his name came from. Ghosty boy. He's just a sweet boy. He's just a little psycho. Okay, don't show people that side of you.
You're like, he's just psycho. Okay, no, don't show it though. I can see it, just don't show it.
You're supposed to be perfect.
Play perfect.
Pretend. Fake it till you make it.
I really think that was like our generation's downfall, being taught that phrase. Fake it till you make it, because this generation, they're like, just fake it.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, it's okay, just fake it. They're like, what? But I broke my arm. It's okay, walk it off. Fake it. It'll be fun.
I don't see blood. That was my mom.
Yeah. No blood. Mom, you're good.
I broke my arm in 12 places. Is it bleeding? No, you're fine.
You're fine. Just walk it off. Fake it till you make it.
Bones sticking out? No,
yeah.
You're good.
I don't see any bones. I don't see blood. You're good. Go back outside.
No. Yeah, growing up, I was always the weird kid because it'd be like, if I got dirt on my hands, I'd be like, okay, I need to go wash my hands real quick before I do anything else.
That's my 8-year-old. Like, he doesn't want anything sticky on his hands. Yeah. He doesn't want dirt on his hands. He's like, oh no, do not.
Well, let's see. With my son, it was his hands. My daughter, it was her feet. So son, hands, daughter, feet. And they're still both like that.
Now,
they're
if
grown.
I'm doing something outside, like gardening or something, I'll just take the gloves off and be like, okay, let's eat. Oh, like, there's probably dirt and stuff all over my hands, but I don't care.
You say hi to Aunt Carol?
Hello, Ghosty. I'm going to get some ears.
Face here. Okay.
What you staring at?
He's probably like, I don't know what I'm staring
What
at.
you staring at?
I'm just a baby.
There's
I'm
some
coming to get
faces
your ears,
looking at
boy.
me.
Coming to get your ears, boy. You hear
Like
that?
you got tell her you got 3.5 weeks. That's fine.
Make sure you're ear trained.
Oh, he is ear trained. Look at that.
Okay.
Oh, he loves it.
I like puppy ears.
He only nibbles a little bit. Look at his teeth. See, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. I told you to fake it. All right, we're good. We're good.
All right. Well, I'm sure it's getting late where you guys are, so I am going to call it and
Well, thank
say
you.
thank you for coming on, and thank you to
Thank you for
everyone in
having
the chat
us.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we will definitely have you back on.
sounds good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Our craziness, coffee talk, and all.
Coffee talk. Coffee cock. Whatever.
Poppycock.
Coffee cock.
I remember seeing that in the story going, oh, look, they canned everybody's humor.
Right? Poppycock. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call it Coffee Talk Poppycock.
There you go. And you're going to find a whole generation of people going, what
What is that? Then you don't belong. Okay.
Then that's where Nunya comes in.
Nunya. Nunya.
Oh,
All
All
right.
right, everyone. Good night.
good
night,
night, everybody. Thanks, Michael.
Okay, don't
Thank
bite.
you. And stay tuned next week for our next episode, episode 2, where it won't be the Ghost Hunting Housewives, but I promise it'll be a fun show.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.